Horror, the production report, update 21. A little bit disjointed, kind of clicking together, clip videos. Roll it!
Hey pals, it's me, Gezbut. It's Wednesday afternoon, late afternoon. This morning I had to finish putting up the video that preceded this one, and then deal with insurance stuff again. My car is recovered, as I had said, but I was waiting to hear back, and they're gonna send me my keys tomorrow, and then I'm gonna have to go get it, and more fun tomorrow. But for the rest of today, I don't have to worry about it. And I've been working on Kid Switch for most of the day, which is good because that needs to be done. And yeah, I guess that's it for now. Although I did do an Inktober last night of Space Cat Meow 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 Meow, which is Mike Emeritz's of the 100s creation, his own personal comic creation. I don't know why I felt the need to restate that. But anyway, here's Space Cat!
Space Cat! Meow, meow, meow.
Pooh! And yeah, that's what's going on as of now on Wednesday.
Then on Friday...
Yes, this just keeps getting better and better. Bought myself a coffee to make myself feel better, but of course that was before I realized the car wouldn't start. Called my insurance agent, he's gone for the day, but he had made an appointment for Monday, so I called the mechanic and said, hey, should I have it towed to you guys, or maybe a mechanic come out and get the starter to work because it's busted, and if you stick a screwdriver in it a certain thievy way, it'll work. I don't know how to do it, but maybe a mechanic will. And they're like, no, we need to tow it, even though we could probably get it started. I said, all right, well, that's stupid, and then they said, tow it to your house. I said, really? Because I have an appointment with you guys and it doesn't drive, so you're gonna have to tow it again. Like, tow it to your house. So I called my insurance company. I have the sort of AAA version of my insurance company, Liberty Mutual, and they're like, hey, we'll tow it. What service center do you want us to tow it to? And I said, well, I'm going to a service center on Monday, but they told me to tow it to the house. Does that make sense to you? And they said, no. And I said, so should I not do that? And she said, I don't really know. And I said, great, tow it to my house. That's what we'll do. Super. I get up going back and forth like, now let's take a tour of the fun car that used to be in good shape.
As you can see, for some reason, there's lots of leaves and dirt. It makes me think they parked it under a tree and left the windows open. Also, there's little sunflower seeds everywhere. So the thieves really enjoyed sunflower seeds, as you can also tell since they left some here. They also like to smoke. I don't know what that little knob is, but it didn't used to be there. Here's some water and a melted Slurpee they left for me. They've also done something to my radio, I guess tried to steal it, so it does not work now. Now in here, I used to have $10, $20 worth of change. They took that, but replaced it, that's right, deodorant and Japanese cherry blossom, whatever that is. Got some cigarette burns. I like this. This is cool. They got some Sharpie graffiti, and it's terrible graffiti. Hey, B is less than money. Bitch is less than money. I don't know, diamond butterfly. Yeah, here's some more over here. Little smiley face, because screw you. Smiley face. In here, they just sort of rifled through this, but look, they left me some Trojans, so that's great. They took all the wires that I had that would work with my phone and left me this weird adapter to I don't know what. The whole car is oddly dirty. Got a nice key mark or scratch right here that didn't used to be here. My Gurren Lagann sticker is intact. However, when we come around to the back, they've peeled off my Kakaida and my Kakaida 01 sticker. Why? I guess so it's less identifiable. I tried to peel off my Hokkaido sticker. He was a little bit tougher. He's a bad guy. So there you go with that. They left the license plate though, so whatever. Again, filthy dirty on the outside and in. I don't know why. Inside, oh, also the little clicker that normally unlocks and unlocks the car does not work. Here's the fun part too. They had some sort of accident, as you can see. Pretty severe. Got some blue, maybe they killed somebody, who knows. That's fun. The hood just covered with bird poop and other things I don't even understand. They left my parking permit, that's nice. This lock doesn't really work properly at all. There's this lock here for the trunk, which I always found really annoying because you can't open it without using this. I can't just pop it for somebody. But I thought, well, that adds an extra layer of security. And so while the things inside the car were missing, like the paper towels and other things, I had a lot of stuff in the trunk, art supplies, a couple action figures, things like that. So at least they're safe. At least we know the things inside the trunk are safe. As you can see, everything just as I left it. All my art supplies. Yes, like lacquer and Rust-Oleum or whatever that is. And of course my weird pipes and scattered bags in a napkin and the bag. But look, hey, WarioWare, smooth moves with a game. Well, this certainly makes up for all the trouble I've had. Thanks, thieves. The following day after the terrible towing was my birthday.
Among other things, we went to an arcade. It was lovely. Sample, won't you? Look, you're a cheetah. It's not funny. Uzi, you're a cheetah. Uzi, you're a jaguar. She could not care less.
Going to the movies, ba ba ba.
Then, from out of the darkness. That's right. It's the Godzilla light pen. Ba-ba. Ba-ba.
Well, hey everyone. It's a bit of a time jump. Today is Sunday. It's night. Technically, it's Monday. It's after midnight. I, so far, have not been very productive. I had been working on Kid Switch. That page is not quite done. Did a little bit of work on the next page of the horror, and like the last 3 days, I've not worked on the horror. I have been doing Inktober every day. And again, it's one of those things where like I committed to Inktober, there's a deadline, and so when I've had busy days, and I'm like, okay, I have like an hour or so to work on something. I guess I better do Inktober as opposed to the horror. So I really don't think I'm going to do Inktober next year. I mean, there are definitely advantages to it. I definitely enjoy it. I'm not telling people don't do it, but if you're like me and you take it seriously, then you're doing it every day. And it's a commitment, and I take these things seriously, and I said I was going to do it, and so I'm doing it, just like when I did the 100 days. I don't believe in skipping days. I don't believe in catching up. That's just not how I do things. So I'm doing it, but I haven't worked on the horror in a few days. And so that's weird because that's not an official 100 days commitment, but it's a commitment to myself, and it's, you know, and even that doesn't mean it's a failure as long as by the end of this period I've done the equivalent of a half-hour day. If I'm like have a good 7-hour day or something, boom, I'm all good. I don't know if I'll be able to though. I've had a lot of car issues. I showed you the video of how my car, I got it back, but it was all crapped up, and it's amazing. It's so much work to have like the car stolen. Like you'd be shocked. I figured, well, I either owe money or I get my car back, but there's so much paperwork, so many calls, so much running around. I had to go to like 3 different places. I rode my bike to UPS. They didn't have the keys. They were supposed to UPS to me. Oh, well, I guess I have to get them the next day. More storage. Get the keys, go there, and then they're like, they seem put out by getting my car to me, and whatever. It's a nightmare. It is a nightmare. It would almost be easier, since my insurance is going to cover, theoretically was going to cover it, if they didn't discover my car, because then I took it to Target, it broke down. I had to get it towed. I waited for a tow truck for 2 hours, even though they said it was going to be a half hour. And so now they had me tow it to my house, which makes no sense, because I was like, well, I have an appointment Monday to have the mechanic inspect it from my insurance company. Why don't I get it towed there? And they said, no, I have it towed to your house. But I can't talk to my insurance company because it's the weekend, so I got it towed here. Hope that's okay. Took forever. The guy seemed like a bit of a stoner. Nice guy, but I'm like helping him push the car, and it just seemed to take forever to do everything. So now the car is here. I can't start it. It's undrivable. It's got a smash in the front. It's all messed up. And tomorrow, being Monday, I'm going to have to deal with that. In the meantime, I had the weekend, and the weekend was great. It was my birthday. Had a lot of fun. Did a lot of cool stuff. Didn't work on the horror, though, but I was fine with that because, I wanted to enjoy my birthday, and I had a really good time. And that's where I got my Godzilla pen. But tomorrow is Monday, and I wanted to get back on track. I wanted to finish up the inks on that Kid Switch page so that Tuesday I could work on the horror hardcore, and then Wednesday I'm leaving for the East Coast. That's my plan, but tomorrow I do have to, in the morning, deal with the car, which could turn into a huge all-day thing for all I know. So up to this point, I'm not feeling real good and productive this period, but and I was kind of putting it off too a little bit, these updates. I'm like, well, I'll wait till I get some work on the horror done, and then I can be like, hey, look at all the work I got done. But honesty is the best policy, so as of now, I am doing poorly. I will, however, throw up whatever Inktober's I have not yet thrown up to this point, including a few that were tributes to some fellow The 100s artists. That was them. Moving on to Monday.
In no particular order, probably not correct anyway, this is J. Allen Ratz's Lady of the Flame I did, brush pen with colored Copic markers, and here's Thomas Clemmons' character from Same Old Super, again brush pen and Copic markers. Noah Ox Bass, anyway, I never forgot, and Pharoah Bolding's They Call Me Black Fist. These are all, tributes to their characters. This is a monkey monster I made for myself based on nothing other than being a monkey monster. Kind of zombie-ish. That's Drax the Destroyer, the original version. These are all actually brush pen, primarily some with Copic. Very low micron. And here's a Tank Girl I did. That's all the Inktobers I have for this update. Goods.
Outside at night. Walking back to the house outside at night.
When you've got those stolen car insurance recovery blues, start your day with a steaming dark side bowl of Star Wars cereal. They're fabulously Sithlicious.
Hey everybody, it's Monday and I'm delivering pizza. No, I'm taking pizza boxes out to the garbage where they belong. Well, recycling, where they truly belong. It is late afternoon, like 1:30, 2 o'clock. I had a pretty good day today so far. Worked on Kid Switch, finished up the page I wanted to get done before I left. So client work officially done. I'll need to color that page eventually, but I'm gonna wait until I do the next page, which I don't need to do yet. So client work done before I go to New Jersey, client work done so I can work on the horror. I have to go to the store and take care of a few things. My car was towed this morning, which was good. I did not have to help with the towing. As expected or suspected, I just dropped a bunch of garbage while I'm talking to you. Good. This is multitasking. And we're back. As expected, they did not send a mechanic out to drive the car, fix the car, or whatever. It actually got towed, but luckily I didn't have to be there. Now I was there, but I didn't want them to know that because I didn't want them to call me down to help push the car and move it like last time, which probably took about a half hour to get off the truck into the spot. It took this guy about 5 minutes, which also further confirms my theory that the first guy was some kind of incompetent stoner. I'm heading out to do some things. When I get back, I'd like to work on the horror, but I'm probably going to work on getting those prints ready and see if I can get those printed at UPS today, and then that would make my work on the horror be for tomorrow, hopefully. And then Wednesday morning, I'm leaving. Today, again, is Monday. The other thing is I want to try to get this video done and up so that people will know that I'm gone and know that I haven't abandoned things, but also I don't want to have to make some sort of video that is pre my trip and then my trip and after and some kind of unwieldy thing. So I'll probably do a little bit of filming while I'm there. Not that New Jersey's super exciting, but it'll be a different scenario. And I want to try to get work done on the horror that is writing or designing or something. I want to be working on something. And of course I'll still be doing Inktober. So anyway, that's it for now. At the mail, there's all these, I guess, yellow pages. Which it's like sort of one of those anachronisms, like who's still using these in the days of the internet? But what I really like is rather than putting it on everyone's door or trying to put it in everyone's mailbox, there's like, here's a pile of them, take them if you want them. And no one does, and I've seen this before, and then they all end up in recycling. So, cycle of life, cycle of life. Look, it's the spot where my car used to be. It's gone.
This situation is not conducive to getting work done.
Oh, hi. Welcome back, my friends. It is 1 p.m. Wow, I'm a little bit crooked, aren't I? It is 1 p.m. on Tuesday. I'm leaving Wednesday morning. My flight is at 10, and I need to be there by 9. I have no day. I mean, I have a 5-hour layover, during which time, if I feel like being productive, I might do some sketching or some rewriting or whatever. But generally speaking, I'm going to wake up, be on a plane all day, get in New Jersey at like 11, and basically, go to sleep. So, have I worked on the horror? No. And I've been trying to think if I've worked on the horror this period at all. I may have put in a half hour, an hour near the beginning. Otherwise, not at all. 1 October, I drew boots. Was that even? No, that was even from last period. So I may not have worked on the horror this period. This period may be a utter failure, and I freely admit that, considering the successes I've been having. While I'm not thrilled to have a failure, it's not something that knocks me on my buttons. Like, I'm never going to do it. I might as well quit. It's just I'm acknowledging that between my car being stolen, trying to catch up on some client work, foolishly doing Inktober, and having this trip coming up, I just haven't had the time and or desire, because obviously, as I say to others and myself, there's always time. I could always find a half hour, but I've just not been motivated because I've been tired and whatever. Excuses. However, my plan was to do a bunch of work on the horror today. I got up and I've been trying to get info on the car thing because I don't know what happened yesterday. I don't know if it's considered a loss. I don't know if I have to go pick it up, but I'm not going to be here starting tomorrow, so I need to kind of get a resolution on that. Also, I got Silicon Valley Comic-Con I want to go to next year. It's the first year they're going to have it, and it's right in my backyard. But it's one of those things where, like, sign up before November 1st, and you get, you know, a reasonably overpriced table. After that, it goes up 100. So I need to do that before I leave. And of course, you're using PDFs, and I can't just type the stuff in. I have to put it into Photoshop and then re-export it, and a bunch of other stupidity that, you know, ends up taking a half hour just to fill out an application, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. These are all things I've been doing and getting just general stuff together, printing my boarding pass, kind of getting ready for being gone, which is kind of the state I've been in the last week, but today for real. And also I had my birthday during this period, and so I've allowed myself to, you know, play with toys and enjoy myself foolishly. So as of now, I am an utter horror failure. You know, I keep saying, hopefully I'll do some work later today or in a minute or whatever, but I'd have to finish a few things before I could start that. I'm going to feed the cats, and I will be back and let you know how much of a failure I've been before I head out and send this video up to you folks. I almost forgot. I finished a commission for a friend of mine that he was giving to his boss as like a thank you, but I couldn't show it until recently, and I will put it up here because it is finished. He also gave me permission he gave me permission to make a print. I gave him a discount. He's like, I don't need a discount. I'm like, well, no, I would give anybody a discount, so you take the discount. And blah, 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 blah. But so anyway, it's Ahsoka Tano from Star Wars Clone Wars, fighting Asajj Ventress from also Clone Wars. I guess they're also both in Rebels. The point is that they're a Jedi and a Sith having a battle, and here it is. It will be available as a print eventually, but for now, enjoy the pots.
I'll get you, Asajj Ventress. No, you won't, Ahsoka Tano. Pew!
That was the pots. Now I'm really gonna go, but you're gonna see me in a second. And finally, yes, it was a failure. I think I may have put in an hour and a half, maybe, for this whole period. But that's fine, because next we're going to see about my trip to the East Coast, where I will do less. Fail.